सो गाइस, इस वीडियो में हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं वेरिएबल्स के बारे में. व्हाट आर वेरिएबल्स इन जावास्क्रिप्ट. सो किसी भी लैंग्वेज में वेरिएबल्स का मतलब एक ही होता है, दैट देयर इज अ कंटेनर विच इज स्टोरिंग योर डेटा, एंड दैट कंटेनर is stored somewhere in your computers or PC's library, like in the memory, and you are pointing that particular block of memory with the name of that particular variable. I will teach you each and everything practically, like how you declare variable, how you assign a particular data or a value to that variable, how you use that variable, what are the rules to declare or to name a variable. I will teach you each and everything. But for now, let's dive into our PC's screen and let's get started. So in our PC, I had just created a folder tude3, and these are the files from the last video. So I'll simply close these two files, and I had created a tude3 folder, and in this folder I had created one HTML file which is index.html and one JS file that is index.js. And this .js will simply mean that this is the extension for JavaScript, that is JS, and .html means that HTML is the extension for HTML language. तो हम लोग ये सीधा सीधा मान सकते हैं कि हम लोग जब भी कोई जावास्क्रिप्ट फाइल बनाएंगे तो हम लोग .js एट द एंड ऑफ द फाइल कंफर्म है कि लगाएंगे. तो ये एक्सटेंशन है फाइल की जो कि अपने सिस्टम को बताता है दैट दिस इज़ अ जावास्क्रिप्ट फाइल, और इस पर्टिकुलर फाइल में जो भी हमारे पास स्क्रिप्ट लिखी हुई है, जो भी हमारे पास कुछ भी कोड है इस फाइल में, उसको एज अ जावास्क्रिप्ट कोड आप ट्रीट करो. तो हम लोग जाते हैं हमारे index.html फाइल पे, एंड यहाँ पे जाके मैं एक सिंपल बॉयलर प्लेट कोड लिख देता हूँ, और यहाँ से हम लोग वापस वही चीज़ उठा लेते हैं जो कि था हमारा जावास्क्रिप्ट ट्यूटोरियल 2. सिंपली यहाँ पे पेस्ट करते हैं और इसको हम लोग चेंज करेंगे टू 3, एंड यहाँ पे हम लोग लिखेंगे वेरिएबल्स. Okay. Yeah, so we will learn about variables in this particular video. I will simply copy paste this. Simply copy paste this code and put it in h1 tag. I will simply include the file which we created just now, which is index.js. Okay, and all the code for the JavaScript will be written in this file, and you will get the description link to download this file or to view these files. Okay, so for now, let's assume that we have a string, like I want to store my name. मेरे को अपना नाम कहीं पे स्टोर करना है, और तो मैं कैसे कर सकता हूँ. तो मैं क्या करूँगा, एक वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर करूँगा. सिंपली मैंने x लिखा है, इक्वल्स टू साइन लगाया है, एंड देन आई विल राइट माई नेम, दैट इज भूपेंद्र. Simply write my name. Okay, I will save this. I will simply write console.log, and in this particular log I will, what do you think, should I write my name or should I simply write x? And if I'm writing x, what will be printed in our console? So I will simply stop the live server and I will run this server again. So it will open this particular tab, and I will open the tude3 file. In this we can see that this is the JavaScript tutorial 3 file. I will go to inspect and I will see what our JavaScript is doing. Yeah, so Bhupendra is getting printed. So that means x stores the value which we assigned to it. Like we declared a variable named x, and I simply assign this value to this particular variable. It gets stored somewhere in my computer, in my computer's memory, and this particular file is returning the value of Bhupendra. This particular variable is returning the value which I write Bhupendra. Okay, so this is the way that you store a data into your variable. But what do you think, what name should we like pick up for a variable? Like the name should be relative. Like if I want to store student data, then it should be student data. or either students. If I want to store a employees data, then it should be employees. So the names of the variables should be relative. Yeah, so there is a set of rules to declare the variable names. So these are the rules. We will study them one by one. So variable name can contain letters, numbers, underscores, and dollar sign. Okay, and variable name cannot start with a number. That means if I write something like 5x, it will show an error. Like you can see from here also, it is showing error. So variable name must not start with a number. Variable name cannot contain spaces. And if I write something like name, and if I give a space in between here, so it will like take it as an error, because the variable name must not contain space in between the variable name. So the next rule is variable names cannot contain special characters like at the rate, hashtag, percentage, and star, that is a string, etc. These kind of special symbols are not allowed in the variable names. Variable names cannot use JavaScript reserved keywords. What are reserved keywords in JavaScript, which we'll discuss when we discuss the data types in the next video. For now, you just have to remember that there are some keywords which are already reserved in JavaScript, and in each language there are some keywords which are already reserved. In JavaScript, the most common keywords which I usually use are let, const, if, for, function. So these are the reserved keywords in JavaScript, some of the reserved keywords. The next rule is JavaScript variable names are case sensitive. That means if I write name in like a smaller case, and if I write name like this, for example, I write name and I assign a value, for example, we can write code orbit. Okay, so if I write it like this, and what do you think it will return? Like I'm giving just a minute. Yeah, if I write name over here, and if I simply write name over here, I will close this simply like this, and I have to close this one also and with a semicolon. What do you think what these will look like in our console? So I will simply go to our browser, I will check this. These two are different. Okay, so JavaScript is case sensitive. If a variable name is in uppercase, it will consider that particular variable if we have same variable with same characters in lowercase. So these are two different variables. Okay, so this is how JavaScript works, JavaScript variables work. So the next rule is use meaningful names describe the data they store. For example, I told you students should contain students data, employees should contain employees data. So the name should be relative, that describes the data which the variable contain. So the next rule is follow camel convention for variables. So what is camel convention? Let me explain you. For example, if I write like this code orbit, so in this code orbit, the first word we have is code, the second word we have is orbit, but we have second word's first letter in uppercase. So this is how we write the camel case. And if we have third word also, like channel, then the third word's first letter should be capital. The third word's first letter also should be capital. So this is how the camel casing work. We have snake casing also. Like if I write, I just simply have to comment that. What are comments we will discuss in next videos. For now, just understand that if we add double slashes at the starting of a particular line, it will be ignored by the compiler or the system where the program is being read or run. So if I write like this, it is snake casing. We just have to simply add an underscore in between two words. for declaring any kind of variable name, function name, or whatever we are declaring. This is snake case and this is camel case. So the JavaScript in particular follows the camel casing. You should keep that this in mind and always use camel casing for JavaScript wherever you write JavaScript. Kindly follow the camel casing. So this is how you kind of write variables. We will understand variables better when we discuss the data types, and we'll again discuss the variables, because each data type is being stored differently. We can convert the type of a data, for example number, string, boolean. These are the data types which we'll discuss in the next video. These are the variable rules for declaring the variables in JavaScript. You should keep these in mind always while writing the JavaScript code. So for now, that's it for the video. If you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and kindly save the playlist for the future references. I will see you next time.